Eamon Khan here. 4 seconds out with light heavyweight Steve Geffrard. Steve, you've been on your world adventures, this time fighting in a new location, Pakistan. It's funny to see you embracing the culture and beautiful as well too, but obviously a place in my heart as well, that background, Pakistan. How was the experience of fighting over there? Getting the rust off you mentioned, but getting back on track, of course, is the bottom line.
It was amazing. I've been out the ring 2 years, 7 months. So it was nice to get back in there. I had a game opponent. He had a good record. He came to fight. I was timing a bit off, a bit rusty. Felt little stiff in there, but it was good. You know, it was good for me to get the rounds instead of just going in there and fighting somebody that wouldn't be like as game and knocking them out in a round or so, which I would have loved. But it was good to get the rounds.
2 years plus, obviously a long time outside the ring. Before you step through the ropes for the official bout, do you have doubts in your mind? Do you have a feeling of where you are in terms of percentage of how full in terms of fitness or the best of your ability you are before you even step through the ropes?
No, I mean, I knew I was in tip-top shape. Spencer, he worked really hard in preparing us. I think like you get like little butterflies and stuff, especially when you've been out the ring. Like there was definitely no doubts in my mind that I would win, but you just always you just start thinking about how you're gonna look in the ring, you know, because you've been out so long. Like, so that's mainly what the pressure is. How am I gonna look, you know, for being out the ring so long?
Did you get what you wanted from the fight in terms of, one, knocking the rust off, obviously two, the win, but also the platform to have the fights that you want coming into the next year? Have you had those conversations with Chris Glover, whoever it is, in terms of your goals and achieving them?
Yeah, actually, I spoke to Chris Glover last night. We're gonna get right back out there in February, and then back in Pakistan possibly in May. Yeah, I mean he's got he put on, he was pretty impressive this past week. Put on a great show at just 32 years old. I think he's gonna make a good name for himself in the sport of boxing, especially with this platform in Pakistan. The production was nice. The venue was unbelievable. I'm sure for a lot of guys, they don't really get opportunities to fight on a platform like that. They had Fight TV, Pakistani television, a beautiful venue like that. So it was a good opportunity for a lot of, not just me, but a lot of the other boxers on the card.
What was Pakistan like in terms of people embracing you? You being able to see some of the sights, eating some of the food as well too. I know that you're a fan of some of the local food over here in Birmingham, and it would be the same over in Pakistan. But what was that experience like in terms of on a day-to-day basis embracing the people?
Pakistan was pretty cool. I mean, we didn't get to do as much as I'd like, but the people are some of the nicest people I've ever met in my travels. I think like I posted on Instagram the other day. I think Pakistan and the Philippines have like some of the nicest people I've ever met. The food was amazing. The hospitality was through the roof. It's definitely a place I definitely can't wait to visit again. I made some good friends over there while I was there.
A lot of movement in the light heavyweight division, of course, over here in the UK, Birmingham to be specific, but also just in general with people jockeying for positions. Do you have any targets, any fights domestically here in the UK that you want to take on? Do you have any opponents in mind that you want to lock in for the next year?
Honestly, I've been out so long, I feel like I'm not even in the position to call anyone out or anything, but I just want to get another win right away in February and another solid win in May back in Pakistan. And then, you know, I'll be ready for any opportunity that presents itself. You know, I'm not, beggars can't be picky, right? But, you know, I don't turn down any challenges or anything. So I'll be, I'm just going to be in the gym, be prepared. When my name gets called, I'll be ready to go.
It's an interesting attitude, but considering that you fought for a world title, saying that beggars can't be picky. Is that the way you feel right now in terms of having to climb your way up the ladder and just earn that spot as opposed to be gifted something?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if I keep working like I am, get right back in the ring, keep winning this next fight or two, I think you know, they will call me. You know, they will call me, and you know, the opportunities will be there. So I don't have to do any extra rah stuff or anything like that. I just have to keep working hard, stay in my lane, focus on myself, and yeah, those opportunities will present themselves.
You're unique in your own way in terms of your personality, but you're also a bit of an anomaly because you don't really get American fighters coming over to UK to train here. They usually kind of stay over in America, or you get Brits maybe going over to America as well too to train there. What is it specifically about the UK, this gym that you like that's kind of kept you here as opposed to maybe staying over your side of the pond?
Yeah, I mean, I think my whole career I've always traveled to train in different places, but you know, boxing is pretty popping here, and I don't know. I just came here looking for an opportunity, something different. I live in South Florida. You know, I live in Boca Raton, Delray Beach area, not too far from like Miami and stuff. Uh, there's definitely, even though I'm always in the gym and stuff, but there's definitely a lot more other things that I could possibly be doing than coming to the gym. Whereas in Birmingham, all I do here is just go to the gym, come to the gym, train with Spencer, go to Sutton Coldfield, do my strength conditioning run. So I don't really, it's a lot easier for me to just lock in here because I know I'm far away from home, far away from friends, family, and distractions. I'm just in the gym locking in, you know. I just fought last week, already back working out, just staying in shape and get ready to get right back out there again in February.
I had a little flavour of Miami, the busyness, the lights, bright lights, and I guess the relaxed kind of attitude over there with Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Also, I nearly got mugged as well too. You got any top tips for survival in Miami, Steve?
Get a gun, get a gun. Got to get a gun. What were you asking me about the Jake Paul?
No, not yet, but just top tips for survival in Miami outside of getting a gun.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, man. You just got to mind your business. Don't be too friendly talking to strangers, you know?
That's exactly what it was. I think I was too friendly and that nearly got me mugged.
Yeah, you were just talking to a stranger and they were like, come here. And they took a good look at you.
do I stick out, do you think, in Miami? Because that's what it was. This fella comes up to me and goes, yo, bro. And I was like, yo, what's up? And he goes, yo, you got cash on you? And I was like, no, I don't have any cash on me. And he puts his hand on me. And then he goes, this dude's got some cash on him. I was like, get the off me.
Like,
and then,
get the fuck off me. She'd be like, get the fuck off me. Yeah, I don't know, man. You should have just kept it walking. Kept it moving.
I think what I did was because I stopped at the stop sign for crossing the road, and they must have thought, you don't do that here.
Yeah. You should have just kept it moving. Can't talk to strangers. They'll get you.
Let's keep it moving as well, because I know that you've spent a lot of time in Jake Paul's camp. That's a camp that's now preparing for Anthony Joshua, and I've seen some interesting faces in that camp, one being Lawrence Okoli, Brit, UK, obviously extensive history with Anthony Joshua, but this is a fight which has been perceived as something crazy, insane, if it is a real fight, and we believe it to be a real fight. But what is it about Jake's mentality that makes him, one, believe that he's going to take on Anthony Joshua, and two, want to take on Anthony Joshua, that challenge after being slated to take on Gervonta Davis?
Yeah, I mean, the guy, it's pretty crazy, you know. It's a pretty crazy situation, but that's the beauty of boxing, you know. Like, I'm sure everyone's completely counting Jake out, but in boxing, you just never know. You expect the unexpected, you know what I mean? Joshua, you know, he's accomplished everything in boxing, from Olympic gold medal to now a two-time undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. So I think as far as him taking this fight, if anybody deserves to go and have a fun fight like this, it is Anthony Joshua. And Jake, you know, he is kind of showing that he'll fight anyone, you know. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. It'll be interesting. Now he could finally show his full arsenal of like what he's learned the past few years, because I think over the years in like his career, you know, like when I've been around him, it seems like he's wanted to fight better opposition, but I think because of the business around him, he has to fight certain names, that are going to draw certain interest and stuff. But now, he gets to show like, what he's made of versus Anthony Joshua, which is extremely dangerous. But let's see what happens.
I can't group everyone all together. Everyone's obviously individual, but every American that I've spoken to has this perception of Anthony Joshua being his most glaring weakness as being what we call in the UK, maybe you call it over there in America, too CHINNY.
Yeah.
He can't hold a shot anymore at heavyweight level. Do you see Anthony Joshua's weakness being as glaring as that, or are there other routes to victory for Jake Paul?
I mean, why is he CHINNY? Because he got stopped by Daniel Dubois
And Ruiz.
I mean, listen, this is a contact sport, Like if you get hit, the human body's not made to be getting punched in the face. If you get hit, especially by these guys, Andy Ruiz, who's a good puncher, Dubois, we know is a big puncher. You get hit clean, you're gonna go. You're possibly gonna go down. Especially those guys, 230, 40, 50-pound guys. Sometimes I hate certain people. Like they give that name CHINNY too easily. Like look at Mason. Abdullah Mason before this last fight that he had, he fought a guy who was considered a journeyman, but had I think like 21 or 26 knockouts, right? Mm-hmm. And he dropped Mason twice. Mason got up and ended up stopping him. And before this fight, I seen a lot of reporters and boxing experts saying he doesn't have a chin or whatever because he got dropped, by someone that could punch. But then look, he fought an even bigger puncher in his last fight for the world title, took those punches well, and so, he was labeled as CHINNY before that fight, but then he took some great shots in the next fight, and so what? Like, I don't know. I can't. They give that word too CHINNY. They pass that word around CHINNY a little too easily. I think Joshua, he's been put down by some pretty big punchers. Klitschko, Andy Ruiz, Dubois, but only time will tell.
Is Jake's power at a level to hurt Joshua? You've been in the camp, you've experienced and felt that, whether it be on the gloves or otherwise. What is his power like? Is it enough to knock out a heavyweight of Anthony Joshua's caliber?
Yeah, he's got good power, but I think speed is power. Speed is power, and he is pretty quick. He's got quick hands, quick feet, and sometimes it's the shots that you don't see that hurt you. So we'll see. I don't think Joshua will be coming to like mess around, kind of same way as when he fought Francis. So we'll see. But I would imagine he's gonna come. He's gonna be on his P's and Q's. He knows there'll be a lot of eyes on him for this fight, so he's gonna be looking to make a statement because I think they have plans of him fighting Tyson Fury next. So I think he's gonna take this very seriously, and Jake's definitely taking it very seriously, and he's gonna try to ruin the plans.
Steve, I'll leave the final word with you, bringing it back to yourself. Where do you want to be at the close of, not 2025, we're here now, but 2026? What position are you in? What spot are you in, whether it be fighting for a title, in for a title, on the cusp of that? Where would you say would be the perfect place you'd be at the close of next year?
Yeah, hopefully I'll be in position to be fighting for a title again. There's a lot of movement going on in the light heavyweight division. I'm not sure like what Bivol and Beterbiev are going to be doing. I see Benavidez is going up. I don't know if he's going to stay up over there. So, there might be a lot of room for other people, a lot of room for a lot of the other guys to fight for these belts. So hopefully I'll be one of the names in the mix.
So congratulations on the win. Looking forward to seeing you back in the ring, and great to see you back on track as well too. Thanks for speaking to the Seconds Out.